Hey everybody, it's Friday and we're going to draft Dominaria, but I'm only on this screen because it says Dominaria. We're not going to draft Dominaria here. It's Friday and that means it's chat Gauntlet day. That means instead of the usual arena provided event, we're going to make an event of our own. We're going to use a third-party website to draft on. Then we are going to bring the decks into Arena and use the friend challenge system to battle each other with the decks we draft on a third-party website. That allows a couple of things. It allows me to draft against known players, my viewers, and in this case today, also NicolaiBolas, fellow streamer. So if you want to see Nicolai's side of this event, you can go catch his stream. I'll put that link in the notes for YouTube and everything. And it also allows us to play in pod, which is not even something that the in-arena events offer. If you were to play in this Arena Dominaria event, you would draft against 7 humans and then play against 7 or however many different humans that you happen to encounter. We get to draft against other people in our pod, which does change the strategy of drafting. It makes you want to hate draft a little more at the end of packs. If there's nothing really good for you, you'll take something that might hurt you a little more than you would in the traditional queues. And it's just, it's really excellent to have both of those things. In-pod play and knowing who you're drafting against allows us to create this fun event. We're not going to do best 2 of 3. We're going to play best of 1. That allows me to play everybody in the event once and sets up a nice best of 7 effectively. And we primarily are here to see who can get to 4 wins first, me or chat. If chat can get 5 or 6 wins, we get to go to the store and buy some bling as a celebration. If chat can get 7 wins, well, somebody's celebrating, but it's not me, because that means chat gets to determine my next haircut. I get to determine when that haircut is, though, by the way. I heard talk of like, well, let's just make him grow his hair out for 40 years. No, that's not how that works. I get to decide when the next haircut is, but we'll work that out. If it ever happens, my plan is that we just never need to worry about the details of this particular bet. But it could happen. It could happen any week, and I am ready. The hair is ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to 07 if it happens. But I'm going to try and prevent that. Anyway, speaking of ready, if everybody's ready, we are going to go over. And if you are ready to buy any more cards for your tabletop Magic game, please check out my sponsor, CardKingdom.com. They are purveyors of physical Magic stuff. They are excellent. They're going to get everything you need when you need it. And it's going to be exactly what you expect. Their inventory is crazy good, and their buy list is even crazier good. If you're looking to get rid of some cards for cash, you're not going to find a better spot to do it than Card Kingdom. So please check them out. And thank you, Card Kingdom, for the ongoing sponsorship. I really appreciate it. Now, though, we're going to hop to left monitor. I'm going to put this out of the way and put this out of the way. And then here we are. Looks like we got all 8 players at the ready. So this is mtgadraft.herokuapp.com if you've never seen this before. We get a little ready check here. And we're going to kick off a Dominaria draft quite shortly. Also, you know, knowing this table, like, I think, you know, everybody's going to be in on Sultai as a good place to start. So we're going to have to figure that out and maybe be fighting for some colors. As a starting place, I like Song here. It's a really great build around. And there's also not a lot of green in the pack. Animus is not a great card. I like Syncopate, I like Divination, I like Academy Drake, I like Deathbloom Thallid. That's kind of the end of cards I even like in this pack. So I feel like we're shipping a ton of blue downstream. So even though blue is one of my favorite colors in the format, I am going to take the Song because I do think it's the best card here. It just leads to some explosive situations and really makes you want to draft a lot of saps. I know that I got some people in my chat who are looking forward to Sapperlings. Looking at you, True. But we're also not going to marry this pick. If it doesn't work out that way, that's fine. But yeah, I just want to note what I'm passing especially. And let's see who I'm passing to. Passing to Condor and Epithet. And Nicolai is a couple upstream from us. Just checking that out. But let's start with the Song. and looking for black especially. I consider Song almost a green-black card because of how much Song of Freyalise wants saps and how much saps want you to pair with black. But again, gotta stay open. But it does affect your picks, right? That's really the challenge of draft, is deciding or kind of intuiting exactly how much that song should influence your subsequent picks. Eviscerate is nice. I said I want to pair with black, but we do double song. I mean, if we're going to build around this, having two of them right out of the gate makes this way more reliable. And they sometimes when you have a combo piece, you just want the first one and the second one is a little redundant, and you play the second piece so that you're more likely to get a piece on time. In the case of Song, this chapter 3 is real. And if you can do a couple chapter 3s on a board of saps, you're super happy. And there's no other green in the pack, and a rare is missing. So it's not like, we don't know. Multani could have been taken out of this pack, in which case we might get cut. But I still think this is another great place to take Song. And we do note the sad passing of the Eviscerate, though, which is likely to send some black signals a little bit, but also pack 3 is tough to make any definitive signals off of. But I like Song. Encore. Ooh, I can tell you about my favorite saga design that didn't see print. When I was on the Dominaria team for a little bit, I was designing sagas, and one of mine did see print, which is the first Eruption. I'm really proud of that card. But I had I was talking to Kelly Diggs about the lore of the world, and there's this eternal, apparently like the Sarah's advocates, the humans who worship Sarah have some song that they sing endlessly. They get to the end and they start over again. So I created a life gain song singing card that when you got to the end of the chapter, it started the chapter, it went back and started the chapter over again. I thought that was pretty cool, but it didn't fit. Marwyn is a rare in our colors. We have no other elves yet, and as a 3-mana ramp for 1, that's not very exciting. Disciples, yeah, thank you, Hat. And there's more blue here, but again, I think a Thallid is fine here. I do want to pair Song with black. We have double Song that I really want to try and make work, and I think a Deathbloom Thallid is more important to this deck than a Soothsayer. Bodyguard, green-white? I don't think so. Norbert. My chat already trying to get me to train wreck. I like this start. We've passed a little black. We're letting a lot of blue go, so I don't think this is our, we're sending our downstream neighbors into blue. What's strange to you, True? What part? This is a fine start, though. Song, Thallid. Just bring me some more sap cards, please. Ugh, this is a little rough. Maybe even take a Pegasus Courser here. Evangel is a black card if we really wanted to try and and it's cheap. Evangel's not a great card, but in a world where you're trying to make songs work, you'll take your 2-drops just because they're there to be mana dorks. But Pegasus Courser is... I even talked about what cards pull me into white in a format where I really try to avoid it. Pegasus Courser is one of them. I think it's a really powerful, aggressive card, and if your opponent is soft to flyers, it can really take over a game. But I still don't want to be in white, but we also have to acknowledge that we are playing in pod with good drafters who are paying attention, who have been watching my stream, who've been watching Nicolai's stream, and understand that white is not the best and aggro is not the best in the format. But if literally nobody goes after it, you can end up with a fine surprisingly good deck. You just really need all of the good stuff. So I'm going to hedge on Courser over Evangel and try not to end up in white. But if we do, we'll be certainly glad we had a Courser in our pick here. And Evangel is replaceable enough despite its nice qualities with the song. I don't know if Courser is the best common. Let's see, there's the Gideon's Reproach. You know, dealing 4 is pretty good. Yeah, Reproach is pretty good too. And there you go. I mean, is this the second best? But we also have Skin Witch. So this is an interesting spot. Do I read the table, see that nobody's really wanting to be white, pick up the Reproach, and be prepared to potentially even be green-white here? Or Skin Witch, which is, in terms of power level in the format, pretty comparable with Reproach, and again, works with the song and the Thallid. I am going to take the Skin Witch because, again, I think these are equivalently powerful in the abstract. This is a heck of a card in this format. And also, the Skin Witch can be this really impactful 6-mana play, or again, it can be a 2-drop both to protect against aggro and to set up early songs. So, I don't think so, David. David's asking if, like, I've been struggling a little bit with my results and been a little cranky with Dominaria this week, and part of that could be that I am calibrated too much towards how the bots were at the end of the format when it was live on Arena. But no, I really do just think that in this format, it is a grindier format, and in this grindy get stuff back from the graveyard format, Skin Witch is just straight good. Here, though, we have, again, another hedge towards white for me. There's nothing good in this pack. Stronghold Confessor, you could argue, does the song thing. We could play this on 1 if we were going to power that out. But that's taking a really medium to bad card. And, yeah, you want Call over Sanctum for white cards. Maybe, I guess if we are doing Song, that's a fair point. That for 4 mana, we'd rather get 2 creatures for a possible Song pump. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll follow. I will take a white card, but we'll take Call. In general, I like Sanctum better than Call of the Cavalry, but I think you're right that if we do end up pairing white with green here, we're going to want the go wide for the double song. So yeah, if we end up white, we'll miss Gideon's Reproach for this Skin Witch, but if we can end up in the superior black-green pair, I think it's worth it to try and hedge towards that. Druidic Vow. Animus, again, is pretty We can take a Baird. I think a Baird is pretty I mean, it slows him down a little bit, but this is a bit whatever for me. I don't even think this is a late Baird. I think this is a correct Baird. I almost want an Ancient Animus, even if we do end up white. A little bit of removal. It's a playable legend. It's not great, though. Animus is also not great, though. So fine, I will continue to hedge to the possible white build. Someone's got to be white. It could be us, and we could make it work with the songs. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Haj. It was what, pick 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, pick 7. Yeah, so a little weak. Not surprising. We've also talked about how the bottom end of the Dominaria Commons is actually pretty crappy. So you can end up strapped for playables in Dominaria. Second call. White's really open. Shocker. Haj values Baird higher than me. I've just never had trouble beating this card when it shows up across from me, so I just don't worry about it. No, Hat. Not only Hat is worried about deck name possibles. What we're giving up, our deck name EV is a concern for Hat apparently, but we can name it Golgari anyway and surprise him. Well, Sergeant at Arms, that's a go wide. Double song, kick it, add some soldiers, pump them up. I think I like that even more than, you know, I keep looking at an Animus, but and Animus just underwhelms all the time. I think, given our double song, I'm going to take the Sergeant. If it weren't for the song angle, I would just take the Animus, though. They're close. Charge could be a surprise in this go-wide approach here. We need more saps, though. Where am I? I really want sap rolling. I mean, also, let's keep in mind, we went song, song, and have seen no other green. Are we not even playing the songs? Like, I think we might get the hookup in pack 2 with green that allows us to go green, white, with most of our green coming from pack 2. Tragic Poet could actually get back the songs. Ooze is a whatever 2, and Tragic Poet's a 1-drop for that anyway. I think I'll go for the Poet combo here. Yeah, Soothsayer too. I'm kind of getting away from. I don't care. The Soothsayer has never mattered to me much. I feel like we're more white than black now. There hasn't been much black. Soothsayer might be signally, but I'm gonna take what. Oh, now we got to think about, like, I don't want to get run over, so let's take a run amok. Rat Colony could be if we stick black. That's what I was saying. We're not much green yet, and we'll see what pack 2 provides. But since there was not much, since we didn't pass much green, I'm expecting, well, I'm expecting to splash Teferi. That's what I'm expecting. Now I'm happy to be in white, but now we need like a grow so that we can fix that, or a skitters. But we're going to take Tef and try to make that happen. Too good. Looks like it. It did, especially with where these legends are located. Like, I'm getting the rare slot. The rare seems to be in slot 2, which makes me think the guaranteed legends slot is in pack 1. Yeah, we don't. But we're going to take and look to play Teferi. But heck, maybe we do get out a song, and maybe there's enough blue here that we end up there. Yeah, well, we passed a lot of good blue, so I'm not I'm hoping to splash the blue, not be blue main. I do want to, like, that grow was in the wrong. Like, I wish grow from the ashes would come now. Like, I didn't want to. We didn't want to take grow over Teferi, but grow is what we need to make Teferi work in a green-white build. Song does help fix, you're not wrong. So songing out a Teferi would be nice. One of the powers of song is it's not just green, all your creatures become birds of paradise. Verdant Force is sure a heck of a source of saps, but I think we want migration over Verdant here. Although, I don't know, with double song, you could power out a Verdant Force. You want to try? I like offering and migration. All right, we can try Verdant Force with the song plan. But the thing is, if we don't end up with sap migrations, we're not going to be able to power out Verdant Force. Yeah, it's close. I think chat is largely on the Verdant Force plan, and certainly it's a very sexy card, but I think some people aren't seeing how actually close it is. Like, migration, you know, if we didn't end up with a Verdant Force, okay, we could manage. If we end up with no sap migrations, the song plan kind of falls apart. In fact, I think I'm actually talking myself out of the Verdant Force. This is just so much better with these two songs. This is what I wanted. This is what I was asking for, and I got it. And then the Magic Gods are trying to tempt me with the Verdant Force. But I'm going to take Sapperling Migration, and then Sap plus the double song helps us play any bombs we get from here. But I think the key ingredient is Sap Migration, and an optional ingredient is Verdant Force. We need to get something, but it doesn't need to be Verdant Force. But very few other things in the set replace Sapperling Migration, or maybe nothing. So I'm gonna take it. Oh no, not her! And we're nowhere near. Oh no! Can I take her? Let's just take her. Yeah. Man, that's going to be a reward for somebody. And yeah, we are. Well, we don't want to face her, but I don't think it's correct to hate draft. We could take Thorn Elemental as a ramp target or some more calls. I think nobody's interested in white, though, and we'll just let the call come back to us late. So I do like a Thorn Elemental. We are looking to splash blue. We could take a blink and potentially try to get into heavier blue. But now that we have a Sap Migration, I do want to go Song, Sap. And I really think we can wheel this. I don't think anybody cares about the cavalry. I bet we get this on the wheel. Or I'm willing to risk it and see, and then we certainly are informed for the rest. No, I was thinking blink, like we could lean heavier blue, but nah, we don't seem to be there. I'm going to take Thorn Elemental. I really kind of want to take the Cinder Wind, but I'll let somebody have fun. We'll just lose to the Cinder Wind at some point, and I'll save my hair in some other match. Grun is also fun to power out with Song. If you can actually kick it, that's something. But Dark Bargain or Mammoth Spider... Mammoth Spider does a little bit more work. Like, this is kind of generic beef to me, but Spider actually does a real job, a job that we don't have filled yet, which is dealing with an Air Force. We have Courser, but that's not, you know. So I think we do need Spider more than we need Grun. Grun is like basically... this Thorn Elemental is already doing the Grun job, and to an extent, Teferi is as well. Grun is like a finisher, and we've got that job filled, and we don't have the Spider job filled. So we're going to take that. Another Skin Witch, another Thallid. We could try to get back into the green-black. That kind of lets go of Teferi, though. Yeah, the Sanctum Spirit is here. Hodge thinks we need to stick to the plan. That's fair. That just means Sanctum Spirit or Envoy here. Pretty underwhelming. Yeah, certainly this isn't a card, so we don't even have that much black. Envoy is just not a priority. I'll take them when they happen to come our way, and they're not unplayable, but they're just not a priority. So we'll take Spirit here. That it's bad fixing, still fixing. Those are true things, Rob, but it doesn't mean that was the pick there. Courser here. All right, let's show them how green-white works. Yeah, red has been massively flowing. Like, if somebody upstream from us, if Epithet or Nikolai is in red-blue wizards, they are getting the hookup. They get to pass the Arcanist to take the Shivan Fire. But yeah, we're going to take Courser and stick to our new plan. In fact, we can probably just cut this and face Vax. More Sap migrations, please. Lyra would be nice. I agree. 2 drops are what we need. Tragic Poet, kind of, you know, don't forget that can be part of a song curve out, and then you can sack it to get it back if you want. Pack 1, Pick 1, and Pack 1, Pick 2 were both song. But we are now finding it a little tough to find the playables we want. Juggernaut has been also underwhelming in the format because of defense is just good, so being forced to attack with this every turn, not great. We could take an let's take an Ancient Animus now. We have a Sergeant at Arms, we have a Tragic Poet, and we're gonna need some removal here. It's not great though. You know my feelings here. This is weak removal. It is. Awful is strong. It's still removal. And we are looking to make our creatures bigger. So there is that. We're going to take a Memorial here. That's nice. Although I know I'm going to crack a Memorial and see Teferi go by. So white's certainly open enough for us to pay attention to. Green has not been super open, honestly, and I want a really early sap migration or the uncommon sap maker, because I'm not sure we're going to get them from there. So now we have here's the Envoy. Like, this is the type this kind of makes me sad. We could have taken I don't want more thorns. No, I don't want a second one of these. Scout or Envoy is the thing. I don't like Scout at all. Rob wants it because it's a 2-drop. I know we need 2s, and because of the song, you're right, Rob, that this is a place we could justify taking it. But I'd rather just I'm gonna take the Envoy here. I'll find some 2s. I'm gonna this is just so much better than this that I'm going to try to find some different 2s. This makes me sad. There's another charge. I don't think we want to play a bunch of charges. I'm going to take Radiant Lightning so we don't get hosed by that, but I'm going to risk it. We'll just take Death Bloom. Maybe there's enough black that shows up that we could reconsider, but I didn't see. There's a little bit of a hate draft there. Now we're best of 1. If we were best of 3, I would have hated the Lightning, but we're best of 1. Wow. Red is wide. Take a Wanderer as top end, Acolyte to continue giving us a possible backdoor into black. Like, these are 4 interesting cards to still be here. Haj just wants the discipline of another Envoy. Yeah, I think Haj is right. We are where we are. The black has moved on. Might mean a broken bond, but almost certainly not. I'm going to cut it. If we can end up cutting an Envoy, that'll be good. But as Haj is saying, if we find ourselves short on creatures at the end of this, we're going to be really happy we took a decent one there. Healing Grace is not super playable, but I've seen people play it, and it'll save a creature or whatever. It's just not... Oh man! Oh, the red. But we got a sap migration, so... sorry, Varix. Trouble, we don't have much interaction though, so I think we just roll over to things like Varix. But we're gonna keep on the saps and hope we get another one. Bring us all the migrations, and then I can get behind our plan. Yeah, did we miss a red sign? Where was I supposed to pivot to red? I don't know. It's hard to decide to pivot to red when you're looking when your current colors are green and white, because I don't like pairing red with either of those particularly. Right, but I think by pack 2 pick 6, then I think we're too late, True, because pack 2 pick 6 is in effect 2/3 of the way through your draft. Yeah, it's halfway through pack 2, but the end half of pack 2 is so much worse than the front half that it's almost like by pack 6 you've seen 2/3 of your good stuff. More sources of saps. And Time of Ice is interesting for the blue player. Like, again, there's so many good red-blue wizard cards going around. That's the deck I'm fearing the most right now, but we're going to stick to our plan and see what we can execute. Yeah, we can wheel an Animist. I don't know if we want to play it. I've already got one in, and I don't even really like that. I mean, it has trouble with Animist is that you need, like what are you using this on? Baird could get something. Sanctum Spear, well, that's probably just trades. Thorn Elemental gets something. Mammoth Spider gets something. Like right now, we have like 3 creatures that you would even want to target with your Ancient Animus. Yeah, at one point, when we were not sure if we were white yet, I took a Skin Witch over a deal 4 to attacker, Gideon's Reproach. Sure would like that Gideon's Reproach now. But here's a Grow that can help us splash our Tef and ramp to Thorn Elemental, etc. Nothing else here even close either. Dub is tempting to make fun of. This is turning out interesting. I like it. I'm not being a slave to my preferences in the format, and I am trying to read the table and trying to accept that someone's got to be white. Can we come up with the deck that actually makes white work? And we're doing a go wide Sapperling song thing that I think could really work. Hopefully it's enough to save my hair. I don't think it's ever going to be too late to pick up Shauna, because I don't think anybody else at this table is green-white. If there's anything green-white gold in these packs, we're going to have our chance at it, I think. Eviscerate. We're already looking to splash blue, so we could add Wrath to our blue splash. With the Grow and the Sap, in the Song, we do have enough, we have some additional splash capabilities such that we could take Eviscerate. Blessed Light, though, is removal in one of our main colors. We don't even, this is fine, but Blessed Light is the interaction that we've been missing. So yeah, we should, yeah, Raph might even wheel. That's not, I bet we wheel Baird if Raph doesn't. Call, Baird, Raph, Adamant Will all have a strong chance to wheel here. We're going to take removal in our color. Yeah, that's probably an artifact of the Heroku app trying to find a way to make the guarantee. So, Haj, the way that I believe that the collation works for this is perfect. A little more, we don't have a ton of. I want to cast this on 5, this on 6. So Sap Herd coming out on 3 would be great. We'll take that. But basically, the actual Magic collation, I believe, or certainly looks at, first it just tries to do a pack, and then it says, hey, based on this pack you created, is there a legend here? And if there's not a legend here, you swap out a random uncommon for a random legend. I think that's how Wizards does it, and I'm not sure. Oh, let's take Mesa Unicorn. That's a fine 2 for this. I saw this bear and was like, yeah, I'll take it at random 2. Oh, this is a much better random 2, right? I'm still off of plots over just a 2-drop to support our songs. This is actually quite good for us to pick up here. If an ooze comes around, I'll be happy about that too. Yeah, I'm definitely plots I find to be pretty clunky even in a dedicated Sap deck, although we have enough saps that we could probably draw off it. I just don't think it's as important to the functioning of our plan as a density of good 2-drops is. Yeah, it's true. I would play it if we got it, Haj. I just think this is more linchpin to what we're up to than worrying about that specific card. None of these are anything. Do we want to gack something from somebody else? We could take some aggro stuff, but we'll just take a blessing. Maybe we have to, you know, play it. I don't think we're going to play blessing, though. I'm going to move it to this side right now. At 25 cards, I at least feel like we have a deck. You know, if I had to run exactly this, I would be okay with it. Now let's see if we can make any improvements. Syncopate on the splash doesn't seem worth it, even though it can scale with the game. I think we just want an Adamant Will. One of these isn't the worst. Save something important. Here's another charge we can consider. A dub. I would like a dub, actually, if we were sideboarding, because there are definitely times where you'd bring in a dub out of the sideboard, but I think I'm going to steal a bargain from a black player. I'm not going to play the charge or the dub in this deck. Yeah, we already have one, though, and I don't want two. So if we're going to play a charge, we already have it. And I'm not playing two. Excavation Elephant is not playable for us. We get nothing back. We're not going to main deck a Pierce the Sky, though. Is there something we want to cut off anybody from? No, again, this is all pretty unimpressive stuff. Everybody's drafting well because there's only garbage left at the end of the packs here. But now we got like some light cuts to make. That's good. This has some potential. Board the Weatherlight could help us find a song. It's historic, right? Or, but we're never going to play that. We don't have enough density, even though it would find us Teferi as well. I'm going to cut. Nobody wants this clearly, or they'd already take it. Yeah, we'll take gems though, right? Sure. All right, that Baird came back. Second Baird, though. I don't even think we're playing a second Baird, but we're not going to play a second Adamant Will either. And here's yet another charge. I'm going to take the Arcane Flight in case someone's going to try and throw that on a Hexproofer. Got to take gem picks in Heroku app draft. It shows off your deep collection. All right. Not a super complicated deck build. What's our cut or cuts? We effectively have 25 non-land playables. If we want to go to 23, we could, but we do have Grow. And the double song is ramp as well. So we have a 7 that we're, you know, so I don't know if we, what's our worst stuff? I actually kind of want to see does this show numbers? Do we get stats here? Thank you for that sub, Slapshot, appreciate it. All right, throw out your cuts. What are you cutting from this deck? One Envoy. Yeah, that's a good call. Are we just calling that a deck? We want to go with the hand smoothing algorithm, go 16 with the songs, double song and Grow? Let's export at least and see what that looks like. I like the one island. Too bad we didn't get a Skitters, but 15, let's see, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, this looks loosely correct. I think 1 charge is fine. I think I like this. You're worried at 16 lands in this deck, despite double Song and Grow, and really no top end but the Thorn Elemental. My worry is that we have all this Song ramp that doesn't go anywhere. It may be hitting the splash may be the reason, you know, as David says, like, you just need the density of, you need the quantity of sources to feel comfortable about things, even if you don't feel like you need the quantity of land overall. So like, David, for example, if we had a white-green tap land, would you be cool with 16? Or like a white-blue or green-blue tap land? Because then we would have the sources without giving up too much. Anyway, let's import. And if anybody wants to register some bling, now is your chance. Looks like we don't even need to craft anything. We've got all of this. Let's call it, it's got to be song-based. Singing. Hero song. That's good. Let's just do hero song. That's a little more subtle than calling out Teferi exactly. And if we added an 8th source of white, let's take a look at our actual numbers here. Only 11 creatures plus the double sap makes and this, so there's kind of 14 sources of creatures. Oh, plus the cavalry. So actually, good. We're doing better on creatures than my initial look at that number made me think we were. That's good too, because you really do want the creatures for song. And I think we could cut will or charge. We're going wide enough that I'm kind of inclined to keep the charge and just accept that, like, nothing we have here is like, I mean, what are we saving? We're saving Pegasi. That's all right. But mainly, like, one of the benefits of a go wide deck is that you don't care too much. Oh, sorry, let me get out of your way. Yeah. You don't care too much about any of your creatures, right? So you can, I'd rather keep the thing that goes with the go wide plan. Yeah, Animus is another option. Yeah, maybe Adamant Will actually gets our man, so to speak, more often than even Animus does. Animus, again, has very few things that you're actually happy to target it with. We can target, I mean, what, you're gonna do all right, they have a 1-power creature we get to kill, right? So, yeah, I think I'm in with that. Let's cut the Animus. It's just really hard to use effectively here. And then we get our land count we're happy with. And we've got Theros lands. You got it. All right. Well, we're close to done with our build. And Nikolai is as well. Awesome. We'll grab him in a second. Not this. We want this and this. And then we're going to suggest go to here and cut 1 island, 1 plains. Boom, boom. Oh, did I send something? What did I do? 8, 15, 16, 17. Ah, did I cut something to the... pool accidentally? Oh yeah, Animus should be in the board. Thank you. I don't know what happened. Now I gotta go look at my... Tell Nikolai, hold on, I have a deck registration error that I'm trying to resolve. I cut Animus, but I added a land. We're supposed to be... The Animus was exchanged for a 17th land, which we have, right? 15, 16, 17, so something else got cut. I was at 17 when I cut Animus? So I'm overcutting. I was trying to get me a second Tef. Okay, I'm just mistaking where my deck was at. So then let's consider our board and consider what to bring in. Also, let's just go boop 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 boop. Oh, we're not sideboarding though. I was thinking of Showdown. All right, I'll just bring in another Envoy then. Yep. I'm going to do that so we can get on with it here. Here, we'll do this one more time.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Oh, wait. No. I just want this. Here we go. All right. We got a keeper. It doesn't have a 2 yet, which is unfortunate, but I'm not throwing this back. All right. Found something to do. Nikolai probably will be surprised to see that. Not a particularly playable card in the format outside of some very specific scenarios, although I think we're in it. What? How is this a mirror match? I call shenanigans. We can decide if we want to try to Adamant Will our Tragic Poet and win combat here. I'm going to, in case of Gideon's Reproach, which we passed, I am going to Adamant Will now ahead of blocks because Indestructible will make it so that Gideon's Reproach doesn't work. Whereas if I blocked and then tried this, he could Gideon's Reproach and kill it before we were a blocker. Or kill it after because we're a blocker. Trading tricks. I'm going to go with the Courser here and hope we find a land naturally to get Bared into Spider. If we get natural lands, we go Bared into Spider and then we can kick Grow. But if we don't find a land next turn, we'll just have to Grow to get that going. Exactly. That's kind of why I want to wait, because I'm hoping to find another white source naturally so we can kick for an island. And there we go. I'm going to drop Baird and swing away. Now, any land off the top for Spider. Well, that's quite the tell. But now If Nikolai wants to use his whole turn on this, we're gonna say fine. And wait and do some blocking with, like, Mammoth Spider. Wouldn't mind a unicorn of our own. Nice. The Reproach I was playing around could take out Baird here. But gotta cast our stuff, play our game. And we still get the spider here. But do note that playing around Gideon's Reproach prevented a blowout. We traded 1-for-1 Adamant Will for Gift of Growth, whereas if we had blocked and then Adamant Willed, we would have lost our Poet and our Combat Trick for 1 removal spell. So, continuing to suggest that he's got the just bottomless tricks here. Block the Unicorn, prevent 2 damage and 2 lifelink. You mean in what spot? I'm not following Haj, but you could be right. I'm not just missing the thread. I'm gonna call this though, and at some point, you know, hopefully Nikolai runs out of stuff. All right, I can accept a 2-for-1 on the spider. Now we'll kick the grow. Get these 2. And we could sandbag this. I'm not sure. We're not preventing discard or anything. I'm just going to keep playing land there since I don't have a good reason not to. We can hold Courser back to threaten double block trade for Unicorn. Oh, you want to... I don't do it for every kick. We don't have the... This isn't part of the meme. We got to kick the thing that's on the cards. Or you can spend some channel points there, Haj, and I'll play whatever meme you want. Now we're talking. Now you have paid your cost. Let's see, I'll give you this one.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
I'm going to say no attacks and go ahead and threaten the Unicorn with a double block. See if Nikolai continues to suggest that he's got goods. Icy! And that says creature or enchantment, not artifact. All right, this is pretty good against Icy, right? Kick the crap out of this. Now you get it for free.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
And now are we aggro? We've got 4 saps on the ground. We can still threaten that double block, or it's a 1. I'm going to still say no, though. Haj says swing. I'm going to play it defensive for 1 more turn here. We do got to kill him sometime, but I think this is going to be more not about... Yeah, it's going to be about this. I was just going to say it's going to be about us landing and Well, this is at least going to... trouble is Icy, of course, but this is going to keep Icy busy the entire game now. Unless they find, like, a Blessed Light of their own or something. Let's go to combat, though, see if Nikolai wants to start tapping stuff down. Nikolai might want to... also, it's important to get the Thorn Elemental down so it distracts the Icy so that Nikolai doesn't pin our blue ahead of possibly drawing our Teferi. Now, I am going to go attacking now. And don't like there's a lot of mana here. Maybe they have a Blessed Light. He could have a Blessed Light of his own. Thank you for that gift sub, Fiddles. That was kind of you. All right.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
All right. Well, let's make the Icy do something. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we can Blessed Light for Blowout if he goes for the gang block. Oh, tapped out. I was like, why didn't he tap? That's why. Let's see if he goes. Probably just chumps, right? Just chump it, but then we'll do 7, so that's fine. Or we can make it fly. Should we just make it fly and then he can't? I kind of want to let him, give him the option to Mega Block. And I'm going to attack with, like, the Poet instead and make that fly and give Nikolai the chance to block there. We can't Blessed Light the Icy, so come up with a new plan. He could have a charge and I'm basically dead with 5 blockers? I'm gonna go... I can do like this. And then if there's a charge, I can Blessed Light the Unicorn, and that's not the worst. And then we lose 2 saps, but we kind of save the Unicorn. Or we could double up. We could just go like this. So if it is charge, we at least do a full trade. We could also do, yeah, we could do put that to cover that charge, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'd take 9 with Blessed Light up. I like I think I like this, being willing to use Blessed Light on their Unicorn. Well, if we block Unicorn on Unicorn and then Blessed Light this, we won't gain the life. But if we put Unicorn in front of something else, then we have to like Blessed Light a sap to save our Unicorn, and I don't really want to do that. So tough block, but I'm gonna go with this. Hodge says wait. What was I risking there, Haj? Maybe I didn't do that at exactly the right time, but you want to see if they do something else, basically. That is true. That is stinky. But they have to tap. He has to tap the elemental, and we at least get in for some life with the unicorn. He's like, forget that. I just win if I can tap down the courser. And sure, let's see, sentry. Yeah, I think we're just dead now. Good job, Nikolai. What the heck? White green mirror? I'll put on a full control bluff at least. Maybe it'll make him think about whether or not he wants to really attack. Although the trouble is we have... Well, yeah, Tragic Poet doesn't actually get anything, so this is a potentially useful control bluff. Don't be snotty, Haj. Double chumps let us live. How? If he taps one of our blockers and swings away, we take... If taps the courser, we take 3 in the air that we can't stop, have 2 blockers on the ground for 3 creatures, any of which, in addition to the sentry, is lethal. So Nikolai right now is no doubt talking through what I might have that could make his effort to put me away go horribly awry. And this is where hopefully the full control is making him think. Hopefully we're at least scaring him. I bet he finds the attack within him, but hopefully he's over there at least sweating the fact that we're pausing here. All right, it worked. I don't think necessarily we can win, but we did buy a turn to since we made Nikolai play a little conservatively there. One thing we could do is chump the courser. I'm just trying to figure out if that makes any difference at all to how we could potentially win this game. It probably does. Let's see. I wouldn't want to look at my deck list, but I can't bring it up with this sequence. How could this be important? We have charge. Charge doesn't get there. We have pump, but it's charge, and that's like we've already used our will. Tef and Tuck, yeah. So does Teferi matter? All right, if Teferi matters, then we should probably just keep this alive. Yeah. All right, let's hope for Teferi off the top, and maybe it's enough. Well, we try. Yeah, I suppose we could have made him decide the taps before Tef. I just got excited. This is all we can do, though. Get rid of this. I think Nikolai's still in great shape. I mean, like, I have to continue this bluff. So let's actually go keep the bluff up. I know, East. That's why I was saying, like, we're trying all these things to extend the game, but we still don't actually have an avenue to win. All we can do is make him worried. But yeah, let's be clear. This game was interesting until Icy took it over. Doesn't matter what he knows. It's just good to make him figure it out. To just keep representing. You never know what your opponent knows, right? Did I complain about Icy? Come on. I can be a whiner, I know. I try to contain my whiny, but I didn't complain. I just observed that it was the MVP of the game. I'll complain about Hat complaining about my complaining, though. We can do that all day long. Complain, recomplain. Bring it. Good game, Nikolai. Nikolai's trying to get my hair with y'all. No fair.
He's dead, John.
Tucking the Icy would have been GG. Because if we go to tuck the Icy, in response, he taps our flyer, and then the flyer just cleanly attacks. So there was nothing for us to do there. All right. Must find a win. Maybe it's against Smash. That's who we're up against next, so let's find out. No, wait, challenge match, 40, best of 1. There we go. Also, we never saw our picks 1 and 2 of the draft, double copies of Song. If I can get an early Song along with those saps, I think we'll be in good shape. There's the Song. No saps yet, though. Pegasus. We'll keep this and maybe, hopefully, get lucky and find Migration on 2. But most likely, we're just going to go Courser and then hopefully find something to be worth songing by, like, turn 4. It would be nice if we found a 2-drop by 4 and we could go turn 3 Courser, turn 4 Song plus 2-drop. Yeah, and a Thorn for ramping is great. Oh, I can also... Oh, trouble is, see, I would turn on... The pets are just too annoying. I would turn on my chat or whatever to... I'll do it for a little bit, but boy, I hate these pets. Sorry, Mama. Right on, Fiddles. Classic Heinlein sci-fi novel. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. It was really impactful book that I first read in high school and often cite as one of my all-time faves. I'll go with Envoy here, though. Oh, I have a sap herd that's not in here? You all told me that There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. All right, well, we'll just hold on the song here and still go Courser. I'll even go Spider next turn, but if we find a 3-drop or less creature, we'll go 3-drop or less creature song next turn. Please let me remember that sap herd. That sap herd is so good in this deck, and this could be a sap herd right here. It's, you know, Smash has the scary looking red-white or red-blue wizards deck we saw. All right. Yeah, so we'll just go. Oh, yeah. This friend accepting has been super buggy, by the way. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that, but it's just a mess. I already explained Tuck the Icy. Tuck the Icy is just an onboard death. We Tuck the Icy, we just show him that we're dead. We were kind of dead anyway, but the death that we showed him was a little trickier than the one that would have been there. Yeah, sure, it just goes on the stack. Note that Arcanist plus Island does represent possible Syncopate mana, so I love that we have just enough to get out of the Syncopate here. Yep, loyalty payment is cost, and effect goes on the stack like most stuff. I don't want to get blown out by Adelaide's Opt, like... We could get crushed in one turn. Why not play Spider here? Because now we get Song going, and Song is gonna pump this out. Also, yeah, it does play around Syncopate, but even if I could see their hand and Smash didn't have Syncopate, I would still do this play to get the Song out, because then we can use the Song to cast both Spider and Thorn Elemental in the next turn. Not next turn, but next turns. Oh, that's true. I had Song Spider if I wanted. Sorry, I was thinking we were going to attack with these. Now I'm not even sure we do is the thing. Because Adelaide's plus 2 spells and we're kind of dead. But we do have chumps in that case, so I think I'm going to go for some damage. And if we get Adelaide's and hit hard... We'll have to throw a sap in the way to prevent death. No, because these are summoning sick. Can't cast the Spider still. And that's fine. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. We can go Baird, Spider, and those are both good defenders against the Journey Mages. Of course, the second one is likely to be picked off by this Syncopate we're afraid of, though. Although now we have a Syncopate with an X of 4 anyway, so we kind of have to decide which one is most important and cast the other one second. And I actually think Spider's more important than Baird defensively right here. Although, Baird does tax them and they seem pretty low. So if they have Adelaide, it's not even that big. Like, Barrett is actually good against that because they can't really swing team there. So Barrett is actually almost as good against Adelaide's next turn as Spider is. And I think it's better in the long term against this deck. So I'm going to start with Barrett, and then we'll see if we can't land the Spider. Expecting a counter here, though. But it'll also hopefully... Oh, no. All right. All right. Maybe Blink. I feel like Smash has, 5 effective mana, 4 or 5, depending on the type of thing. 5 cards. Yeah, like, there's no way he untaps without doing anything. All right, Spider. We got a lot riding on your defensive capabilities right now, because if Smash has Blink into something else, we're dead. And down in the O2 hole. Yep, O2 hole. Oh, really? Oh, Smash, you're giving me a chance. I must be dead. Maybe he has backup here. There you go. He had a plan. I knew he had to have a plan. All right, gang. The follicles are getting twitchy, but we're only O2.
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
All right. Awkwardness so far, but getting rolled before we can execute our strategy here. Next up. Oh, that's too bad, Flip. Your streak is intact in my heart. Oh, dang it! Really annoying. I never forget. I can't remember things beyond like 2 minutes, if not less. How do I remember? How do I remember? I'm gonna put like a SAP note on my monitor. SAP heard. This is dumb. The one bad part of Heroku app stuff is that if you mess up the transition at all, you can ruin your whole deck or mess up your deck. And I'm kind of there right now. Boy. East calls this a sneep. I'm calling this an uncomfortable keep. If we don't do anything until turn 4, we're probably going to lose. But I think we have enough draws to do stuff before turn 4 that we should keep this. That's a thing, but not a thing to do before 4, unless we get some other stuff. Telegraphing my charge by opening on planes, apparently. We're a little late to the party, Poet, but we'll play out the Poet here. And next turn, call. And then hopefully Teferi can give us a game here. Save my hair. Save my hair, Teferi. East wants to play Song. I'm going to be a little more patient than that. I don't like the Song play. Yeah, we could power out Tef, but I don't know, into open blue. Like, I think this is fine. I like my line. Maybe somebody can convince me I did this wrong, but I think you want to build up your creatures out here. kind of don't even want to send the Poet for 1 point of damage into this, but it's likely a blink. It could be a... I don't know if there's flash. It could be... Oh, actually, no, never mind. I'm not going to attack. You know why? This is where in-pod matters. Thank you. Yeah, Math thought of it as I did. Yeah, as did Timnos. We're not going to attack because we're going to see Raph drop at the end of this turn. Watch. In-pod play. Although I think maybe I would have found my way to not attacking into Raph even against something else. All right, now the trouble is, so we could, of course, we can go Song and then tap everything, have Teferi, but then we need to tuck Raph, and then Tef dies. So we're going to not do the Song yet. We're going to Tef and make Raph go away. And hopefully they can't bounce our other token so that we don't have to chump the Journey Mage to keep Tef alive.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. Reverse.
And this has Vigilance, and I'd be happy to trade for that here, so we're going to send in. But this is where we're bracing. Bracing! For dead 2/2. Bracing! Another Journey Mage would be a heck of a sweet play from Condor. They are on. I have them on right now. Look, you can say, I can say good game, or your go, or not be a jerk. Hey, great news from Queen. So nerve-wracking to get procedures and tests done like that, Queen, and wait for the results. Hooray. Whatever, y'all can have my hair if we have a healthy Queen. All right, that's good so far in that our 2/2 is still alive. Ugh, our like one piece of removal. Oh, come on, deck. Come on. All right, how do we deal with this? Let's draw a card and find something. Come on, Tef. Give us an answer.
We need to move quickly.
Okay, that counts. That counts. I'm in. We're going to go Kicked Saps and then try for Song next turn. In fact, we'll have Charge up after the Tef untap. Oh, did they attack our life total? I thought they were attacking Tef. I just assumed they were attacking Tef. Maybe maybe I missed who they were attacking. If they were attacking life total, I totally should have taken it. I guess presumed that they weren't, because I would sure be attacking Tef. Yeah, I can hop up here while we have Tef on the battlefield. Let's go here. I'm going to untap the blue. It's just a little more threatening in the format, and what we really need is the white for the charge anyway. We could put everything on it and use the charge right now to trade one sap for the Explorer, which is what we would do anyway if we just chump, right? So I kind of like pile on all the saps and charge, even though it would be sad if we lost a bunch to the song. And there could be a syncopate here, but then at least our saps are gonna successfully eat. I hear that, the Gdanmore, but I feel like, again, I would just chump a sap anyway. I may as well lose a sap, but actually try to kill this thing. Yeah. I'm charging. I'm going to charge. Also, we get to see if Condor wants to do anything about this quad block anyway. Right, Fantasia. Song wants max creatures. This play, we lose the same number of sap tokens. The only difference is we lose the charge right now. But our creature count is the same. We weren't just going to not block and let Teferi die. Let's start with a Tef draw.
Keep up the pace.
That's okay. So let's go, let's drop a forest. We've already got our Teferi down. It's our only blue card. And let's go, let's just dump hand. Raph's a pain, but we may just have to accept that Tef has already done good work for us, and Raph may pick off Tef. But basically, from here, we untap. We could say, we could plus Tef, go to 4, and I guess it doesn't die. Yeah, we'll just plus Tef, and then hopefully can survive one attack from Raph. And although it's, you know, we're being tempted to just bin Raph again, but I think we just keep drawing.
Need to move quickly.
There we go. Now we can even chump with the Courser if we want. Probably worth saving a... Although Tef can again take one hit, so maybe we just let that happen. Hooray, Queen! An excellent way to celebrate, I must say. Great points all around. We'll just take the hit to Teferi if Raph comes at Teferi, because then Pegasus Courser with a counter becomes a 2/4 that can bounce off Raph anyway. Music to my ears, literally and figuratively. All right, not getting the choice on the matter, but again, Tef still lives to draw another day.
Enough.
Sap Herd. Stupid Ryan accidentally cutting Sap Herds from his Sapperling deck.
Hurry.
Ah, interesting. Believe Tef is now donezo, but we've got a nice attack here. Yeah, oh, one of the beauties of Song is that it makes for a no-look attack. Like, yeah, we're going to attack first, and then we can get the Song back. But we start now because there's nothing that they can do. You got Indestructible, Vigilance, and Trample. So kind of just the no-look attack all is the thing to do on Chapter 3 of a Song. Only if you're like, worried about these types of triggers would you consider it differently. Let's, okay. Now then, we could kill the golem if we wanted to use the Adamant Will. But I think, nah, we'll just save the Adamant Will. $15 to a bunch. I don't think we need to do double Song, do you? And we could sack it and play it right now. Even still doing this, and we got all the mana in the world with these. Well, because we have a 2/2, we lose a 2/2 to get a Song back, and the 2/2 attacks next turn. This doesn't really do anything for a couple of, several turns out. I don't think this Song matters. I don't think it's going to come to this. I think if something dramatically changes in this game, then our fallback plan is to go Tragic Poet. So I'm going to pass. And now Condor's in this spot where Raph needs to take out Teferi, or eventually just loses to Teferi, but not having blockers just is effectively losing to these. Really hoping I protect my hair in this one, but they've got Condor has a couple of legends. There's that legendary sorcery that is a board wipe that we would leave. We would end up with what, Teferi? That would be our only permanent. Been losing so far, Queen. Trying to come up with a hair-saving win here, and then we'll work on a week saving 3 more wins after that. Thanks, Tef. You've been great. Urza's Ruinous Blast would certainly be funny. I think we would have seen it. Urza's Ruinous Blast is not a high pick. Maybe if you were dedicated blue-white historic and you opened it in pack 3, you'd be like, yeah, I'm in. But I honestly think that if Ruinous Blast were in this pod, we would have seen it and passed it, or considered it ourselves. Excuse me. And now I'm just swinging away. I'm going to make them have it. Make them have something. You want to take out that poet and prevent the re-song? Go for it. We got Adamant Will anyway. So that's 3 blockers. I still think this Adamant Will should close it out. Just feels like it, fool. It's Dominaria. Woo! You know what that means.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Sappered, Sappered, Sappered. Oh my god, I'm gonna fix that. By the way, my first 2 losses don't count because I didn't have my sap herd. So in my head, I'm 1-0 right now. Thanks, Pac-Man, doing it now. Yep, 1-0. In fact, maybe I should just do this. I mean, that's only fair, right? I think that's fair. All right, all right. 5 and 2 is still plenty good, right? Next up. Grim Pac-Man. I could probably do something like Stream Deck is very powerful. True, there's lots of things you can do with this hardware tool I have to pop memes off, etc. But it's all work. You know, it's all stuff. I have to learn it and then set it up, and then it's like, where is it on the priority list? Not high enough. Nice. Yes, please. Mesa Unicorn, any 3-drop would be nice. Then we could go Unicorn, Swarm, Spider Hero. Mm-hmm. Well, deck, can you give us a land or something to do on 3 besides charge? I think I'd even song at this point if we drew one. Land works, thank you. Yeah, still no action for the turn. We do have a charge, but I'm going to stay back and we'll consider charge blocking the Warcaller. But we do have Spore Swarm. If we can just hold for a couple turns here, I think we'll be okay. Probably just take this and try a Baird defense. Yeah, I'm not... I don't know, what do you think? We could go... the lack of Halar attack suggests not having tricks, right? So, and we don't have, we want to have a wide board. No, my question is, do we want to be defensive here? I think we can take 2. I think we take 2. We also have Mesa Unicorn to gain us some life eventually. Nice 2-3-4 from Pac-Man though. Us not doing anything on 3 really hurts. However, Baird, if he lives, should slow their roll. We can also just try to do a surprise swarm, but actually I'm not going to do a bunch of blocking there. I think we just want Baird to try and buy some time. And again, looks like there's no tricks behind. We could offer Baird as a trade here and get 2 life out of it. Going to 12 is the alternative. And I think with this behind, it's close. Kind of want to just hide behind Tef. Yeah, Swarm Charge next turn is an interesting space. Let's go to, yeah, let's just take it, and I like that idea of the Swarm hold up charge play next turn. We've got Baird, but no attacks with him. Although chat, if they can win 5 get some bling, so there's still things to play for besides my hair. We don't need to chump. I like just Baird charge here, or again, you know, charge on attacks with saps is the sexy thing we want to do, but I like surviving. Yeah, let's go like this, and like this, and then what this is showing is that we're just trying to say, hey, if you have removal, we're still doing 3, right? So this sets up I think they'll order Baird first. I'm gonna make that assumption. And if they don't order Baird first, then maybe we just let this happen, right? This is fine too. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it happen then. Now, Spider charge, having Spider in charge is nice. If we go Tef here, he's a little under-defended for my taste, so I'm going to go Spider. East wanted to play Tef now. I feel like it with all these creatures. Although maybe Baird is enough. It's just that if you put yourself in a spot where a removal spell or a Chain Whirler wrecks you, but I think we go ahead and save our saps here. Now I'm liking the Tef, and I think we draw. Because if Baird lives, they don't have enough mana to make a huge attack anyway. So I'm going to count on Baird living.
No time for a break.
Yeah, I should have thought about my tapping there since I was going to draw a card. That was sloppy. If you're going to draw cards, you got to watch that auto tap, and I didn't. I just got lucky that it didn't cost us anything. Well, there you go. Now I've untapped it. And again, I also should have untapped the island to threaten something, but it's pretty clear this is our splash. I don't think anybody's going to be afraid of a untapped island when it's obviously the splash. Well, that's interesting, but we do have the Spider. This is why Spider is so important in this format. We've seen formats like there was the Ikoria had a Mammoth Spider with upside, because you could give it reach or you could give it vigilance, right? So Mammoth Spider with upside was regularly unplayed in Ikoria, but Mammoth Spider in this format just does amazing work against these 4-power flyers. All right, we've got some action, and let's well, we could put this to the bottom, but I think we risk it for a turn and go plus again. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Spider's so great in this format. Sure, more land. We did go to 17 with fixing and songs and grows, so we may have some flooding issues. Oh, it's possible I still don't have a sap herd in here? God, that's true. Oh my god. So this, if this is a loss, it doesn't count either. If we can ultimate Teferi, then we should just win, right? Weatherlight coming at me. We may lose the spider here. But I don't want to give him the draw. So let's go ahead and block. Make him have it. Had it. I'm telling you, though, this is not a main deckable card. I don't know why I keep getting my saps wrecked by main deck lightnings in this event. Sucks. I'm going to lose with the Teferi. That's rough. We're flooding out awfully hard. Well, if we plus, Teferi takes a big chunk. But if we minus, what do we even do? Like, what's the plan if we minus here? We minus, tuck Weatherlight, and then are facing all of this? Yeah, we got to keep drawing. Tucking, drawing, neither of it does much. I'm feeling like this is supposed to be this unbeatable card, but it's been very tough for us. Couple of blockers doesn't suck. Drawing a million extra cards doesn't help when they're all land is the problem. Sorry, Tef's at 7. I meant to go back up here. There you go. Oppos are having no problem finding action. And no problem main decking Radiant Lightnings against me. Yeah, Chain Whirler. Pac-Man, you're being greedy, but it's working. Yeah, it's a free attack. I should decide on what we're doing with Teferi before we do anything, though. I guess we plus Tef. Still looking for help. Do we need to tuck? I mean, we're at 6. Yeah, maybe I needed to tuck because of that, right? Shoot. I didn't count the flyer damage, my bad. But to an extent, I was looking for help for that too. Now we're doomed. Sorry. Can also... I'm going to set up the bluff, and maybe they don't go for our life total. Maybe Grim Pac-Man will give me credit and assume that I plussed to Fairy because we have something for the flyer. It's possible. How many punts you want me to make, Hat? I can speed up. If you really want to get those blingy blings. Not kicking the sergeant to sell what ruse? The song gives us effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. What are we threatening that we needed to not kick sergeant to threaten? But was supposed to tuck and I didn't. I gave myself no chances there. That was just again, a punt away of a chance to extend the game. Not a punt, not a sure win into a loss, but a sure extend the game into a loss. So that sucks. Well, white-green, showing its worth in the format. Looking for Goat Planet. Do I not have Goat Planet as a buddy yet? Maybe not. Oh, I don't see Goat Planet. I'm going to skip ahead if... yeah, I'm going to go hit Cauliflower here instead. There's the sap herd. Well, now I gotta win out if I even want to win the week. And yeah, we can keep this. It's again a little bit tight, but we'll keep. Witch on 2 with no pressure. That's scary. All right, that was huge. I mean, if we don't get this, we might just lose before we even begin. And we still kind of need a plains off the top If we don't get a plains, we get a forest or an island, we can still call, which is fine. Yeah, I could have done Sergeant. Maybe I'm being a little greedy to try and get a kick out of that. Now we can do Unicorn or the Sergeant to trade. I like Sergeant here, threatening a double block on the ramp on the Cyclops. Yeah, we could do a Song plus Mesa. Is that worth it? We do get a lot of mana next turn, but we do take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and go to 6. We're going to 6 if we do that. But yeah, risking blowing out removal blowouts is also stinky. Have we gone first yet today? I also feel like I've just been behind. I blink and suddenly I'm under massive pressure in this event today. It's been frustrating. But we don't have the land, so I guess we need to we have to do the song in order to have any chance of producing enough next turn to get wide enough to survive. And may just have to put Unicorn on Journey Mage here and hope for some life back. Is that a joke, Bat Meme? I really don't understand the question if it's not. All right, there's the... When you don't do that, this is the internet. You don't give me a Kappa. Believe me, that question is in the internet's range. What? That's exactly what I wanted. If we go, if we have a 1-3, well, we would have at least, it wouldn't have killed it, but we could go 2-3 plus 1-3 on the Rampaging Cyclops becomes a 2-4 and it bounces. That's what, that's... all right. Can't find land because F you, Ryan. But a couple of lifelinkers out is what the doctor ordered, right? Although we could do a Baird so that they don't really have room to attack with multiples. The Baird tax is real. We can also pitch Baird to Sanctum though to give it indestructible. So if they do tricksy stuff, we get them that way. So I'm gonna do that. I'm trying, Prof, but I don't know if I have this, but we have opportunities here. Yeah, getting counters on lifelinkers also doesn't suck. Too bad we don't have the Adamant Will ready, but we do have, again, the Baird pitch. So, yeah, I'm just trying to decide if we're blocking the Cyclops, but then the Cyclops still gets the Unicorn. So let's try to take out the Journey Mage. I don't think they'll try to kill the Spirit. I think this is fine. I think we do this. Yeah, I think it's crazy to pitch. Maybe it's not crazy to pitch Tef. I don't want to trade though. You want to trade? It's too late anyway. And yeah, I think we do pitch Tef. Then Baird can actually help with D. That's true, but song is past. We're about to go to chapter 3. It no longer gives us blue. Well, we at least get the no-brainer swing here that gets us some life back to boot. And then we'll call the cavalry. Puzzle, you wanted to do something that leaves Adamant up? I'd love to get a planes to drop Baird, and then I'd feel a lot better about our spot. But Courser plus Spirit gaining us for a turn should put us in the right direction. All right, perfect. We could do Sergeant unkicked with Adamant Will available, but let's start with the Pegasus Sanctum attack. I'm going to go Baird, though. Baird makes it really tough for them to find a way to swarm us for the win. Sad to see these go, but that does not stop our current plan. So, all things considered, not the worst witch we've ever faced. Crappy draw, but again, we have him on a 2-turn. Let's see if it gets there. I like keeping getting the life. We could have peggied Baird, but I like the life. Not really, as we just saw. Crawl back into contention here after a 1-3 start. No. What a top deck. Not bad for us either, though, but now we have a longer lead. We're going to kick this, though, and get defensive.
I do my head toss, check my legs. Baby, how you feeling?
Oh, sorry, that was a double memer. Let's give you a clean meme.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
Yeah, let's do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No life gain out of the blue. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we just have it. I don't see anything. The only thing it would be was if, like, Whisper did something. And Whisper doesn't do anything relevant here. Life gain or blocker-wise. Yeah, if we'd pitched Baird, we'd be in a different spot, right? So, good call on giving up our, ostensibly, the best card in our deck. I generally, well, I turned it on because the last opponent didn't have a pet, but we'll see. I'm trying. We're trying. Two more, and I can still win this week. One more, and I can at least deny you spending my hard-earned gems. Goat Planet is now ready. Yeah. Ideally, unequip your pets and don't make me mute you. I see. Yeah. Yeah, we were worried about your removal suite. We saw the red going around. Sapherd is in. Sapherd is in. Thank you for the reminder. Hey, now this is what we've been waiting for. Is this so hard? Oh my gosh, it gets better. Well, hopefully they don't counter this. This would be a really sad... Okay, we did not get syncopated. That's good. Well, if we song, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana after that, so we could cavalry. We could song into cavalry and then just unload everything next turn, right? Let's do that. This is the deck I drafted. It didn't show up until Game 6, but this is the deck I drafted. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Sergeant at Arms kicks for 6, and we still get the Courser after that. Mwah! Mwah! Crazy thing, we can get the song back if we sack our poet. Oh, and just because we're completely gross... I like our chances in this one, chat. Sorry, Goat Planet. But this is what I was waiting for my dumb deck to do. There is your song turn. Okay, it can't do any better than that, though. That was like, was that a perfect game in the sense that, like, I had to go back and watch, but I think did we use mana, all our mana every turn and all of our cards perfectly? I think we used every single mana we had and every single card we had. That was kind of cool. Sorry that it happened to you, Goat, but to spend every last bit of your mana and every one of your cards and win on the turn you did. Maybe there was some extra from the song, that's possible. But I spent all of my land mana. Yeah, for exactly lethal. Thank you for that, host. Is that Wizards? Oh, that was Nikolai. Nikolai, thank you. Thank you for playing with us today. How did you do? Yeah, we used all the song mana too. I think that was one of the coolest Goldfish games I've ever played, and poor Goat had to sit there and watch it. All right. I missed a raid. I don't know if I missed a... Oh, is there a sub up there? If I missed a sub, I'm sorry for the failed shout out, but I really appreciate it. Oh, that's too bad. That's all right. Thank you, Nikolai. Well, I'm glad someone is representing with the green-white. We are struggling a bit here, although I have pulled it even, and now we do get a fun and final deciding Game 7. So, and my Game 7 oppo is Gaitsu. Let's do it. I don't know if... I think we're buddies. I accepted it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, Goat. That may be the finest 5-turn limited sequence I've ever executed, and you just had to sit there and watch it. I mean, you didn't even matter. It was just like, step aside, please. We want to kill you on 5. We're 3-3 here, and deciding about keeping. On the play, I'm going to keep this. It's a little slow. We're not starting ostensibly until 5 here, but we have a lot of early action, so we're going to keep. Yeah, Goat, you played perfectly reasonable Magic cards, including excellent Magic cards. What made us go white was a Pegasus Pack 1 pick. I want to say 6 or 7 was the first place we took a white card, and I even called it out and said, like, Pegasus mid-pack 1 is like the way that I get into white. And also if I see Mesa Unicorns like 12th, 13th pick, you know? All right, really bummer of a start for us, but fortunately we're on the play and we're not against aggro. If we were on the draw against Wizards, we'd already be losing. This game would be almost nearly over. As it is, settle in. Blue-black control against our mess is going to be, since we're not curving out like we did against poor Goat, this could be a little bit more of a sit tight. Song is nice to see here, though. We're going to get headed toward that. Start with the cavalry. Maybe play the song next turn with our 2 new Birds of Paradise here. Also, Vigilant Birds of Paradise are really nice with the song. A lot of Death Blooms going around. Unfortunately, 3/3s are still easily traded for, so we're not actually going to attack here. But I do like Song and getting some stuff going. 4 mana only really allows for like Baird or Sanctum, but still worth doing here to get set for Chapter 3. So we'll go, we'll do this and then Baird it up, I think is the right play. Baird blocks these so that in order for Deathbloom Thalids to get through, they need removal for Baird or Tricks. Not today, Foil, but you're still live for winning the week and building up a streak. Chat broke my streak last week with a 4-3 win, looking to keep theirs going this week. Nice. Needed some more land. Now with 5, 6, 7, 8... we can go Spider Envoy, and that seems fine. Let's do that. Still not going to send in even Baird into this stuff. I'm perfectly content to try to sit behind this. Let's see. Oh, not a syncopate, because we couldn't pay for the syncopate, so they could have pated that, but let's play the envoy here. You want to leave up charge? Yeah, maybe getting the spirit down for the lifelink would be fine, but it's not a matchup where my me being, you know, getting lifelink isn't the most important thing here. But next turn we get to drop the spirit and have the charge, and we get the free Chapter 3 attack. The no look. Yeah, we could go Sap Herd charge. It might be set us up for more damage, actually. The old Chapter 3 song attack is rough because there's nothing, you can't stop it, so your only question is what can you bounce, and since Gaitsu can't bounce anything, they are opting to just take. Totally understandable, but now Sap Herd press charge gives us a real shot at just taking it next turn. All right, that's probably going to take, yeah, it gets a 3-3. Nice play. Is it enough? I'm still going to swing away and charge and see what happens. We could kick the grow and still have the mana, but if they have syncopate, the play falls apart, and the grow isn't really needed here right now. I'm going to attack in, charge, and then just play Sanctum Spirit if it doesn't end the game. Yeah, I could do a small grow, but we just don't need to do anything before combat, really. It might not be gross. There's some reasonable blocks here, but I think it's going to help us win. Because after the reasonable blocks, we still have the better board. I mean, if you put me on charge, you could come up with some blocks that played around that. But Gaitsu also might be thinking, I can't beat charge. I'm going to play like he doesn't have it. And even just for damage, I'm still doing this. The bear doesn't live, but we're going to still save these two and get in some extra. And then hopefully this should be enough, right? With them at 1 and losing a bunch of creatures here. And now I'll just Sanctum for extra wide. And do I win the week? Exploding Gaitsu? Salvage is, I think, not enough. I think that's it. All right. Woo, good games, chat. I gotcha. I gotcha.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Hair is safe. Pride is slightly salved. Made some mistakes in that event, but not enough for chat to beat me. Yeah, this was a good one. Fun comebacks, and then the curve out of my life. Seriously, I don't think it's going to be hard. That was like perfection. It was all mana, all cards, Xaxes, turn 5. Mwah! Sorry, Goat, but that's a you get to be part of my history. You can say part of your Magic story is Ryan Spain's most dominant win he's ever had in Limited was against me. It wasn't even necessarily the most dominant. It was just kind of the coolest in how it was perfect, right? Anyway, let's hop to Soapbox.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
I could have turned that off, but since Nikolai is here, I wanted him to see it anyway, so there you go. Turn that off now. Oh, that's why. It's not even on my panel. We got Skeptical Hat to thank for that, Nikolai. I let my chat step up and do awesome things for me visually. It's great. Yeah, let's go here. All right. Thank you, YouTube friends, for hanging out for that one. Another great Gauntlet. Thank you so much, NicolaiBolas, for joining us for this one. Really glad you could make it. I owe Nikolai now. My plan is to work out a time to jump onto Nikolai's stream and do a co-draft with him. That's kind of his style. Nikolai did me the favor of doing it my style. I'm going to do him the favor of doing it his style next. And yeah, smash that subscribe. Like, subscribe, whatever. Just show up and watch. That would be awesome. That's all I ask. When you can. This is my favorite event of the week. I look forward to it all week long. And it's for multiple reasons. It's really fun to play against chat. It's really fun to draft and play in pod. There were multiple times this event where we made decisions and thought through things based on what we saw in the draft and what we thought someone might have. We didn't attack into an expected RAF, and sure enough, RAF comes down, right? So there is something very nice about drafting and playing in pod. I'm not a purist. I think Magic Draft is good enough that the time savings and the having the system to basically get a match quick and not having to set aside 3 hours of your life is great, but it really is fun once a week to touch base with the roots of true Magic Draft, which is 8 humans then playing against each other. Of course, it's not truly pure. We'd play best of 3, but I love it. So thank you, Hat. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, all of my mods who helped out with this. Thanks to all of my viewers who took the time out of their Friday to participate and help make my content. And again, thank you to Nikolai for participating. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube friends now, and then we're going to figure out who to raid. Bye, everybody.